Today I want to go over my Lion Knight army, as it's my biggest army that I have, and I've been slowly building it up over the past year since I got back into LEGO, and more specifically LEGO Castle. I wanted to show all of my different units, including foot soldiers and cavalry, as well as show my special characters and my ideas for them in the lore. I'm going to be releasing a video soon about a mock project that I'm starting, and these Lion Knights are going to be the primary faction in it. So I thought I would show off my army here in full to document it before I start placing characters all around mocks and whatnot. So first we have the King minifigure. So I started with just the basic king from Kingdoms, and then I added this nice gray beard piece under his crown to give him a more bearded and older look, as well as this upper cape piece from the King CMF. Next we have the Queen minifigure, and I essentially just took the Queen from Kingdoms because I felt the red and gold matched perfectly for her, but I'm trying to think if there's any ways I can improve her, and if you guys have any suggestions, let me know in the comments. Next we have the Noblemen, or the King's Council, and this comprises of 3 figures, and I just used some Kingdoms parts to give them a nice royal look. Next we have the Wizard, which I use this nice hair and beard piece to make him look old, along with these legs from a Fantasy Era Wizard figure to try to give him a royal and clean look, but also still keep that wizardly vibe. Here we have the General of the Army, who I gave this old red coat torso and white epaulettes to give him a clean look, as he's merely a strategist, not really a fighter. As we get into the actual soldiers of the army, we start with the Standard Bearer, who rocks this easily made standard with a custom banner. Also, as you might notice, the nasal part on his nasal helm, it got broken off, so I decided to give him that to give him a more unique look. Now we have this Golden Knight, who's a heavily armored and decorated knight of the army. He still needs a pearl gold helmet and cape, but I think it looks pretty cool. Next we have the Commander of the Royal Guard. He rocks this unique Roman helmet with this really cool feather, and I just thought it worked perfectly along with a red cape and this more armored torso and legs. Next we have the Leader of the Crossbowmen, who rocks the same torso as the crossbowmen along with these nice pearl gold epaulettes and this red cape. Here we have some more personalized type characters that I would love to give them some lore, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do. I might just make them commanders of the army, but I'm not exactly sure. Let me know what you guys think. Here we have the King's Guard. I wanted to give them a more armored look with these long axes and pearl gold flags, as well as these grill helms, which I don't use very much in the army, so I thought I'd give them a nice unique look. Now I next want to talk about my cavalry unit, but I will say that this is only my specialized characters and heavy cavalry, but I do plan on making a light cavalry unit without the bardings and in a larger amount, so I'll definitely give an update to that once I have the pieces. To start off the cavalry, we have the cavalry leader, who's rocking this all gold armor as well as gold on the horse armor, and I think it looks really good with that old gold helmet from the Fantasy Era Golden Knight. Pretty expensive figure right here, but I think he looks really good. Next member of the cavalry is the King's oldest son, and I gave him this nice sword and shield with a spear on his horse, and he's rocking this red falcon torso from Build a Minifigure, so I think it looks really good, and I love the face print to give him a nice personalized look. Next we have the King's younger sons, who are rocking some less armored horses, and I do want to get these guys capes in the future, but I think having them both have the same hair color just gives them that same vibe of being younger brothers. Next we have someone who's not technically part of the cavalry, but she is on horseback. So this is the jousting champion of the Lion Knights, and I gave her this nice silver spear with the Lion Knight flag. I think it looks really nice, as well as this old plume from the original castle sets, just to give her a nice decorated and differential look. So I think she looks really nice. Next we have the Commander of the Heavy Cavalry, who's rocking this nice unique armor piece as well as this pointed helm, and I also gave him a pike on the side of his horse as well as a nice classic sword and shield. Next we have the Cavalry's Squire, who is rocking this banner on the side of his horse as well as a backpack with a sword attached with supplies. I did not give him a barding. I gave him this decorated horse to give him a royal vibe, but also not the vibe of someone who's really fighting. And finally for the cavalry, we of course have the heavy cavalry. I gave these guys these nice long spears and shields, but I decided to give some of them flags and swords on their side and some of them not, to give them a more diversified look so they don't look like clones. I also gave them these silver armored bardings, which just made a lot of sense for the heavy cavalry, and I think they look really, really nice. Now we're of course going to have to talk about my general soldiers, being the light infantry, the royal guard, the bowmen, and the crossbowmen. Now this is essentially how I have the army set up right now, but obviously if I need to switch around parts for mocks, so if I need more spearmen or I need more bowmen, I'll obviously do that, but this is just a general look of what this army looks like, and I don't think I'll really need any more. To start it off, we have these special heavy crossbowmen. I only have 4 of them, but they're running these nice armored Viking torsos and queen's legs, as well as white epaulettes. Next we have the longbowmen. I have 10 of them, and they're rocking these nice pearl gold epaulettes to show rank, and they're rocking these nice clean old medieval peasant hood pieces, which I think look really, really good for any sort of archers or bowmen. Here we have just a regular unit of archers. They consist of 20 of them, and I'm also using the medieval hood piece because I just think it looks so good on archers. Next we have just these classic crossbowmen, just the exact same design from Kingdoms, although I would like to get Mando capes for them and the archers in the future. Next we have the Royal Guard. They consist of 10, and they have these nice long spears with little minifigure hands to represent flags, as well as I use these more armored shoulder pads with kettle helms to give them a differential look from the foot soldiers. Next we have these flag bearing spearmen. Now I only have 2 of these guys, but I really like their alternating colors, and I might make more in the future. I could see them just being like some specialized guards for a joust or something, just because they look really cool. Now we get to the foot soldiers, which are the most basic units of my army. They all have these nasal helms and just the basic Kingdoms checkered print with the light gray legs. These are the swordsmen. They have a unit of 10, and they're rocking these little swords and shields. Next we have the spearmen. I have a unit of 20 of these guys, and these guys are essentially just going to be used for basic guards around guard towers or entrances. Next we have 5 foot soldiers with maces. I might turn these guys to a different type of troop if I need them, but I just thought the mace pieces were kind of cool. Next we have a small unit of 10 axemen. I couldn't decide which type of axe I liked better, but at least for now I just have a few axemen. Once again, I might turn these guys into other kinds of troops, but I think they're pretty cool. My final type of foot soldier that I have are these flag bearers. I only have 4, 2 with swords, 2 without, but I think it's cool to add flag bearers to a formation or just walking around with the red flag of the Lion Knights. The final unit we have are these pikemen. I only have about 5 of them, and I just wanted to give them a more armored look with these shoulder pads and kettle helms along with black gloves. I also think it's cool that they have the flag on their pikes. If you guys have any ideas on how I can improve my videos or improve the army, let me know. I appreciate the feedback. And as always, thank you so much for watching.